Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to Charlotte Raceway, because holy snapping duck butts, Batman, we are going street stocks on the oval tonight. Welcome to the Motorsport New Zealand Charlotte Circus. We've had V racing, we've had the GT4s, we've had endurance racing and the BMWs. Now it's time to mix it up a little and do something a little weird. We are going to go in the street stocks and we're going to race on the oval, and we are going to test the metal, not the metal that you bang with a hammer, the metal of people's soul, their ability to drive, the size of their kahunas, so to speak, because oval racing for New Zealand drivers is fairly limited. You'll be surprised at how few actually get in there and do it in the simulation. So tonight will be quite the giggle fest. It'll be a laugh, it'll be entertaining, and I expect there'll be a lot of chaos. Why? Why will there be chaos? Because most of the drivers know how to use a throttle. Most of them know how to race on road circuits, but when it comes to drafting, it's a whole new world. It's a different mindset. There's different tactics involved, and I suspect not many of them know it, especially if they get the twitches, because as soon as one gets the twitches and they take out someone else, they'll be taking out a whole lot of others. Let's quickly look at our format for this evening. Yes, it is a bunch of drivers, however many decide to man up, so to speak, and turn up for the evening of racing. Then we're going to have those 4 heats, 10 laps each time into the consolation final. The top 12 out of that will go into the main final. We'll have 32 nutters out there on the racetrack. That's just how it's going to roll. Roll is probably, no, there's never really much rolling. There's just a lot of concrete wall and a lot of panel damage. It's going to be fun. If they take themselves too seriously, they're just going to get upset, and we don't want that. So here at Charlottesville, it's also night time, so that's going to change the characteristics of the tyres, the engine, the performance, the way everything works. Things will be different. This is going to be a very new experience for many of these drivers. They'll want to be in the top 5 each heat to get through to that main final. And then we'll watch the consolidation, the repechage, the B main before we find our final 32. Tomorrow, just as entertaining. Sunday will be all the same. But for tonight, our focus, part 1 of our 3-part series here at the Charlotte Circus, is the oval in the street stocks. We do have a very special guest. Let me tell you, we've got a special guest for you, everyone. In tonight's Motorsport New Zealand Charlotte Oval, allow me to introduce to you the one and only Liam Lawson has decided he wants to go oval racing. Back to his early simulator roots. Liam, g'day.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
Mate, he is psyched up. Are you ready to go on the big oval? Got the draft?
Yeah, it should be interesting. I've done a few laps now, and I was surprised. I mean, I used to do this. This was like the rookie series that when you started iRacing you'd do. So I used to do this a lot with a couple of friends, and it's changed a lot. The time model's different now. You slide around a lot more, and the toe is huge.
Yeah, it's going to test some of these boys who have never, ever done it before, eh? They're going to be in for a little bit of a shock.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's not too bad driving around by yourself, but when you're going to be wheel to wheel the whole time, it's going to be probably quite sketchy. That's for sure.
Yeah, because in fact, a lot of the drivers who have not really had a go at this oval stuff, they won't appreciate when you're in the tow, you're affecting the person in front of you. You're making their car change in characteristic, and that can cause problems.
Yeah, to be fair, most people don't really realize how much of an art it is to drive on ovals. Obviously, you know, most people think that it's more skillful to drive on a normal circuit or a road circuit, like they call it in America. But oval racing is actually really interesting. I don't think it'll happen so much on this track, but and a lot of tracks and a lot of cars in oval racing, the grip changes over the night, and you have to find different lines and things like that. At the same time, you've got one car beneath you and one car on top of you as well.
Yeah, well, you'll be heading into qualifying soon, so if you don't mind, it'd be really cool if you could stay with us for that and actually talk us through what's going on the car. You don't have to give us the full play-by-play. We'd really like to know about your mistakes.
Yeah, I can take you through a lap of quali. It's the good thing is it'll be nice and even. It's single qualifying, so the times are going to be within hundreds and thousands of a second. That'll split you between 5 or 10 cars. Normally, it's really, really close when they do the single qualifying here. So, yeah, should be fun.
Where were you in the practice time? Were you satisfied with your practice?
It was okay. I just tried to perfect getting a toe, but I didn't really do it. I kept catching the cars too early and getting traffic and things like that. But it's the difference between what am I 800ths off P1, so it's close. You just got to try and perfect that toe. But luckily in qualifying there won't be any of that. It'll be very very even. Everyone has the same track conditions with no car in front of them.
Yeah, that's true because no toe, lone qualifying, and so it's all up to you to
Yep.
pick the right lines and not get it too squirrely going around the turns.
Yeah, exactly. So we are looking like we're ready to go. So I will get my stuff sorted, jump in the car, and
We're
go
going to
do a
stay
lap.
with you. We're just showing scenic shots at the moment. So the car now, just so everyone knows, you are in the number 30. You are bright green. What's your livery tonight? What have you ended up with?
Jack Hicks. I am representing Jack Hicks in this race. When I was younger, it was well. To be fair, it's still my favorite movie. So, um, I mean, I used to want to be Lightning McQueen, but I also liked Jack Hicks. I liked the green car. So, are you following me with me now?
Yeah, we are on board. One hopes that everything's synced up, but we see you rolling out into the pit entry area. You're on the track and you've just crossed past that blue cone. So you tell us what you're up to and we'll stay with you. Go for it.
Well, it's actually really important on the pit exit because you start your lap straight away up here. It's actually really important to try and get a nice slingshot out of the pit lane and try and maximize your speed. So I'm going up mid-track here to try and get a nice banked downhill run to start the lap. And then you just want to do shortest distance in a straight line, try and cut as many meters out of it as you can. And then here into turn 1 and 2, I think they call it, you open it up a little bit, and then it's literally just running the bottom the whole way through. I think the second lap will be faster, so this first lap will just be getting an idea of how it feels, and then trying to set up that second lap. But even without a toe right now, I'm surprised by how loose the back end is. It's actually quite hard to keep the car in a straight line. You can hear a lot of tire squeal as well. So yeah, time to focus up for the second lap. I think here it's best to run a little bit low. You see the camber and the track change there. If you get it mid-track, you get a nice scoop into it. Oh, a little bit wide there. I'm going to try and get as low as I can. You're really only running the wheel up against that white line and not coming up too much. Then again, I don't think you go all the way to the wall because of the distance. It's nice to come a little bit lower. And again, dipping in nice and low here. Less meters without scrubbing too much speed. Trying to run the bottom again here. And then up the track, we'll see where we end up. I don't want to get an off track. Shortest distance, little meters as we can. What did I do? Aha, we missed it by a little bit, but at the moment, I'm 15 thousandths of a second off pole. But I just the turn 1, I came a little bit wide and I didn't get the wheel on the blue line. So I think that is honestly what cost it.
I'm actually amazed at how you're analysing it already, and you know exactly where you should have picked up a couple of tenths or thousandths.
Yeah, no, it was a bit annoying actually. I drove a little bit too wide into turn 1, too busy trying to focus on the commentary of it, and messed up the lap a little bit. But it's so
Oh,
small; these tiny little increments make a difference on over racing.
yeah, well, I'm looking at various times across the board that are starting to come in, and you're all, like you said, it's all going to be tenths, if not thousandths, of a
Yeah,
second
it's so
between
close,
everybody. Yeah, it's going to
so
be crazy.
close.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
right. Well, you'll be at this stage in leading heat number 3, unless someone else decides to get in your way, but that's where you'll be at. So should be a lot of fun. Look, I wish you good luck and thank you very much for joining us for this little intro to the circus night. It should be quite entertaining.
Yeah, that should be fun. Thanks very much for having me. I'm looking forward to trying to stay alive in the races and making the final.
Yeah, staying alive, exactly. Going off what other events have been like in the Esports series, it is a fingers cross hit and miss situation. Thanks again, Liam. Have a great race, pal.
No worries. Speak to you soon. See ya.
All right, there we go. So, Liam Lawson doing his thing. He's off. He'll go racy, he will. Now, let me just check his times while everyone else is starting to come through. I can tell you that Zach Blinko, this is the numbers. Zach was a 36.6. Matt McCutcheon, a 36.6. Liam Lawson, 36.6. Jensen Bate, 6. These are all the people in the 36.6 bench. Stewart, Matt Stevens, Adam Williams, Blake Dowdall. Who else have we got? That's space. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at this stage. Look at the numbers. Zach Blinko does take it over Matt McCutcheon, Liam Lawson and Cooper Cooley. So those 4 will be on pole for your 4 heats. Then it'll be Bate, Sharp, Stewart and Browen will be on the second position in the heats in order. It's quite cool, isn't it? So that's a whole lot of 36.6. So when you might see, for example, Ayrton Williams down in 10th position, you might go, oh, he was a bit slow. Let me tell you something. It is, 0.075 splits the top 10. 0.075. It's all going to change when they get out there racing. Then look at it. It's still only 0.2 of a second down to 20th position. 0.2 of a second separates the top 20, with Mark Mallard being that one. And he's probably going, oh no. And the reason he'll be, oh no, like quite a few of these others, is because they start further back in the pack. Yet they're almost identical in speed to those in front of them. This is where the difficulty is, because for the rookies in oval racing, they've been able to put their foot down here in qualifying. There's a few changes coming with other names coming in. Mark Mallard's been shuffled down to 21st. And if you go all the way to 30th, 0.3 of a second is the degree of separation with the top 30 drivers. Now, because there are less overall tonight doing this oval than there were in the other previous events, that means there'll be slightly lesser amount of drivers in each heat to go through, and also almost the entire field will end up in the main final, which is actually kind of fun. So that's okay. That is what it is with the entries. Everyone's entered, but not everyone pulled into the pits and the garages with their transporters and put their cars out of the trailers. Some of them wussed out a little bit. Some of them got a little wimpy. They probably went to practice earlier this afternoon, hit the wall a few times and realised, uh-oh, this is harder than it looks. So the format again, 4 heats, 10 laps per heat, consolation final, B-main, repecharge, whatever you want to call it, and then the main final. And really, what we're now doing with these 4 heats in the consolation final is knocking out a couple of drivers who won't make it. They'll be left out in the lurch, a couple of them. But really, this is now 5 qualifying sessions. If you want to look at it a different way, we have 4 heats in a consolation final, and they all end up being qualifying sessions for the main final. It's kind of cool when you look at it in that aspect. So Zach Blinko will lead the pack away in heat number 1. Matt McCutcheon will lead his, Liam Lawson, his one, and Cooper Cooley will lead his. But, according to me, because of the numbers, so things might have changed here. This is interesting, because Cooper Cooley should have been leading heat 4, but now he's ended up being second in heat number 1. So I suspect that the automatic race control system has, due to the numbers of official entries, has switched it up a little bit. Very intriguing indeed. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, Blinko, Cooley, Stewart, Neal, Crowther, Herbert, Hanks, Mallard, Todd, and Mick Chesney, and all of them the same speed. When it comes to iRacing licenses, some of you might know what that is and some don't, but you get a rookie, you get a D, C, B, A, and then pros. In this particular heat, half the field are rookies, which means basically they've dabbled in oval racing and then thought, nah, and gone off and done their road racing or whatever else they want to do. And some of these names are exceptionally talented in racing, both in the simulation world and some of them in the real world. But here in this, they are down in the numbers of their license ranking because they just don't do oval racing. Elton Goonan is this bunch. He is in this bunch. So is Paul Smith from the... Now, that's one of the... Now, there's a lot of leagues. If you're not quite up with the play of iRacing, consider it a club. Lots of clubs. They're called leagues. People can join a league, and those leagues can have their own formats, their own competitions, do whatever track they want, whatever car they want, race formats, the whole procedure. And so there's a bunch of different leagues, and they've all turned up here tonight, a whole heap of them from different ones, from 2AV Fun, 2AV, if you want to have, it's called 2AV, 2AV Fun. That's a fun league, a fun club. And it's actually got a whole lot of drivers in it from the 2K Cup. I think there's even a couple of BMW drivers. KSR, Kiwi Sim Racing, that's another league. There's a handful of them here tonight as well. Probably the New Zealand Supercars League. There's probably a few here from that. And then there's drivers who aren't in a league. They're not in a iRacing league at all. They just turn up and do the odd race and off they go again. But anyway, the safety car is circulating. We have a full heat. I'm sure we'll work out by the time it gets to heat number 4 what iRacing has done with the numbers on the grid. Doesn't matter. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them here. 13, I think one has not started. If my numbers are right, Paul Smith has not started. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yes, he's not started. And I don't even know if he made qualifying, so he might have registered and not done it. And we are underway. The green flag is flying, and we have 10 laps of fingers crossed. Yeah, just like the driver up front, which is Zach Blinko at this stage. Fingers crossed. At the very, very end of the field is Elton Goonan. Stuart Crowther and Cooley are ducked in behind, and now they've got to decide when and where they make a pass. One is already off. Who is it? It's Elton and Aidan Lamont have come together into the wall. There is Elton, and his car is looking decidedly second hand. So is Lamont. But the cheesy smile on the front of 33, Ben Stewart, is chasing down Zach Blinko. 37 goes out a little bit wider. If he wants that toe, he's got to stay right in there. That's Crowther. Fourth place, Cooley is doing a great job staying on the bumper. Now thinks about going out wide into the turn to make a pass. However, you've all watched NASCAR. You know how it does and doesn't work. IndyCar, how it does and doesn't work. You've got to line it up, and you've got to make a calculated decision on when to go in the front. And at the moment, it looks like Stewart doesn't want to. It just seems as though Stewart is quite happy to sit there. No need to do anything silly. Look at 37 wiggling around on the track. That gives you an example of what Liam Lawson was talking to us about in qualifying. How it can be a little twitchy, a little loose. Now someone's decided they want to have a go down the outside. It's 38, Barry Neal. He's had enough of sitting in the toe. Wants to get up in that top section. Out on his own. He's not going to get much help out there. He'll need to duck in behind and get a pull. Going to be left stranded. And if he stays stranded, Joel Herbert will come through. Someone's gone down onto the skirt. Look at, I'm sure that's Joel Herbert in the yellow machine. I'm pretty sure it is. And he's going right up to the wall. He got a great toe down there, but it's still not close enough. Probably better just to sit in behind. Up front, no change. Very squirrely is Warren Crowther yet again. Out on the outside, up close to the wall. Maybe the inside is the way to go here now, Crowther. Maybe the inside. Zach Blinko, there's the coming together. I'm pretty sure that's Joel Herbert, who has gone into the wall. 61, yes it was. He was trying all sorts of different plans of attack to move up through the ranks. It didn't pay out. So it's Cooper Cooley sitting there in third. Crowther in fourth. Crowther needs to stay right in behind. Speaking of that, look at that chin. That's looking back at Ben Stewart's machine, the flex face. Oh my God. That's something you don't want to see every night, is it? It's hard to think about going to sleep with that image in your head. Right, Crowther still out wide now. Who is catching up? That's Barry Neal again. So Neal is still pondering how he is going to get through with 6 laps done. This could be his opportunity. The door was shut. We are on board. Here he goes again out wide. It's just not the right timing. I can see his plan of attack. I can understand what he is doing. But again, he gets left stranded, and look at the gap. Look how slow he is now. Pushing all the wind by himself, loses 2 car positions. Or distance, maybe even more. Get back in there, Neal. Right in there. It's still Blinko. Stewart is not making a move. There's Barry Neal on the outside of Crowther. He'll get up on side, but then he'll have to back off the throttle. Tries to stay in the centre of the track in the street stock. He's actually doing a very good job to stay with them when he's out on his own. But I've noticed quite a few times that Crowther just creeps up a little bit. So if Neal could go down on the inside, he could push. Watch 30. He's got around 37. I don't know how he's done it, but he's done it. 37 must have backed off the throttle a fraction. Now 38. He can drop in here if he wants to, Neal. He's going to stay wide. He's staying in the middle. He thinks that's his speed spot. I think he's going to have to be very, very careful. He could lose it. Out on his own, lap 8 of 10. I'm actually thinking this is quite American. Now he'll get the push. Here we go. Now things have changed. Because that is that Crowther? Or is it Cooley? It's Cooley, isn't it? 37. Crowther is now doing the push. This is going to change things. Barry Neal, 38, needed that. He's got it now, and he's getting a better push. He's caught up. Neal on the outside. He needs Crowther to stay there and help push. They've made up a little bit on the outside there. Crowther's going to stay with him. Both together, they can work together and push. Here we go, the final lap. Some tail runners are there, but I don't think they're close enough to be a problem. Neal really needs Crowther. Stewart's now blocked in. Stewart can't do anything about it. He's tactically stayed there the whole race. Elton Goonan drops down on the inside. Now it's going to be chaos. He stays there. They get twitchy. Neal goes up. Stewart tries to think about it. They're going crazy. Elton captures somebody, but they all get through. And who is going to take it? Blinko, Cooley? No. Stewart got through. No, Cooley got through. Hang on. Let's just breathe here. Yes, Blinko, Cooley, Crowther and Neal. I thought Neal had it, but they caught up to Elton. Probably half a lap too early. Half a lap too early. But that deserves a standing ovation because those 5 front drivers there, 0.6 apart in the end, and that was purely because they got caught up around Elton. Blinko, Cooley, Crowther, Neal and Stewart straight into the B final. The rest of them will have another go in the repechage. But that was brilliant draft driving. I feel sorry for Ben Stewart, who ended up 5th and should have possibly won that. But he got smothered by Neal, who did the really good job of getting a push by Crowther around the outside. Our starting grid for heat number 2 is Matt McCutcheon with Jensen Bate beside, Browen and Ayrton Williams, Dowdle, Stewart, Hedderscheid, Hicks, Marcus Little, Gino Luna, James Havinga and Michael Forrest are also in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All 13 will be that 12. There'll be 2 in there. Yep, 2 in there, so that'll make it 12. Okay, let's see how well they draft here at Charlotte Speedway. Part 1 of our Charlotte Circus. The circus tonight. It's really what it is. Again, full cred to that first heat. That top 5 stayed perfectly aligned, really, for almost the entire heat. It was brilliantly done. And this time it'll be McCutcheon and Bate, side by side with McCutcheon on the inside. Playing the game. When the safety car pulls off, it's playing a game. When do you decide to go? And then if you're just in behind, you duck down in rather than trying to do the drag race. Look at 88 and 25, the flex face. That's Jensen Baden, 88, Ayrton Williams and 25. The flex seal, 47, Arthur Browen trying to warm up those tyres. Matt McCutcheon doing nothing. Focused. Staying there. Safety car is about to pull off the circuit. Here at Charlotte Oval, McCutcheon makes the decision on when to go. Who's going to push? Let's see if we get a side-by-side for the first couple of laps on cold tyres. 12 of them rumble by. The car is off. We are underway. McCutcheon has put his foot down. He is going for it. And Bate did not jump down on the inside. Arthur Browen got there and he might have the advantage. These two will just push their own air. And there it is. I think 88 Bate is going to be left stranded unless his teammate comes out and helps give him a push, which he does. Ayrton Williams, 25, goes up. Pushes his teammate in, and now he's on. McCutcheon is out on his own. I can't imagine that'll last, not with 20, not with 88 and 47 pushing each other. They'll catch up. Everyone is staying safe except for the tail runner. There is a James Harvinger on the skirt of the oval. Looking back from Brown in second. Probably trying to do what Neil did in the opening heat, out on the outside on your own, but you need someone pushing. You can't stay there by yourself. Look at 25 and 88. They'll work together here. They'll probably be on the same race channel. They'll be talking to each other. 47, Browen probably needs a little gap and then just sneak down in and join the queue. However, now Dowdle's caught up. Dowdle might be able to give him a push. Can those two play games around the outside? No. Dowdle drops into the mix, leaving Browen on his own. Now lost 2 places. Gets a little bit of the slipstream against the wall, makes a fraction back. Look at the wobble. The air is playing games. 35, Daniel Hedderscheid. Moved up a few spots here. Very careful not to touch. There goes 47, thinking about ducking into the queue. Still left stranded. I'm surprised he's not been pushed down 2 or 3 spots already. Takes a fair bit of courage to hold out there. The tail runners, Forrest, Havinga, Luna, Little, they've got a bit of work to do. They need to work together, but they won't be on the same race channel probably, so they're not talking to each other. They need to work and push, and they can catch this mob. Quite achievable. Not if they're out on their own like that. Was that a small mistake from 25 Williams? It opened up a bit of a gap. Browen tries to push down. Wants to get on the inside line. Look at up high. Wow. Bit of courage shown there. That's an unusual way to do it. Risky maneuver. We are 3 wide down the back end of this pack. None of them are going to push each other. Bate is second. McCutcheon is still first. Here's the push coming between Williams and Bate. There it is. Those two need to stick together. 47, Browen is still there. I don't know how he's done it. Oh, there's been a touch. There's been a small touch. Brown has been hit by 25. He's in the wall. He's held it together. He's back in the pack. And he stayed off. So he's into it still. But he's lost crucial time with 6 laps down of 10. We are way back with Marcus Little. No one there helping. 26. Michael Forrest needs to get him behind and push. Here comes 29. Gino Luna. But the 3 of them have left it too late to try and make a move on this front pack unless there's carnage up front. McCutcheon, Bate, Williams. I think there's damage to Browen because he is losing speed. Yeah, I'd say so. Beside him, it's Matt Hicks, the 2 of them. They'll be running the numbers, but at the moment, Williams, look at how sideways Bate is. That car is pretty loose. And there's more contact further back in the field between 24, Blake Dowdle. I think it was 35, Hedderscheid. Lap 8 of 10, there goes into the wall. It is 24, is it? Yes, it is. And then more will make contact. The 3 of them will all end up off the track. And that might have let those tail runners come through. They'll make up 1 spot. It's not enough. 8 laps of 10 gone. It's still McCutcheon and Bate with Williams in behind. Hedderscheid and Stewart. Browen is out of it. There's 5 in the running. This is the 5 vying for the higher spots. Remember, this is basically all qualifying. Rather than elimination races, it's qualifying for the mains, where you start on the grid. And you don't want to be mid or late pack. You want to be up the pointy end. 20 laps that'll be, but at the moment we're just doing our 10 lappers. 88 is their Bate. Now right in beside is Hedderscheid. Now he's going to block Bate in. Bate's in trouble here. Bate's in a great position here for the toe to be able to pull out and slingshot for a win. But with Hedderscheid there, he has blocked him in. Now Hedderscheid has to decide how much courage he's going to have to sit right beside McCutcheon and make sure the gap is blocked. They are fighting for grid position, not for glory here. Grid position in the main. 88 has his opportunity still. There's a big gap between those 2 front cars. Could still slingshot in. 35 comes down. Hedderscheid squeezes a little, but he's lost a little bit of momentum at the same time. Final lap. That's it. That should have been the checkered flag. I think Bate might have got that. Let's just wait and see. No, Hedderscheid did. Well, just. He squeezed. It was great. Look at the difference. 0.069 to 0.078. But McCutcheon will take the win in that one with Hedderscheid, Bate, Williams and Stewart. Basically, everyone is through to the main final at the end of the evening. But those 5 are going to have prime grid positions. Browen had a real opportunity but was given a clip. That's oval racing, ended up in the wall. Did a good save, a really good save to stay in the running and give himself an opportunity. So it's time to move to heat number 3. Now, Liam Lawson will lead this one away. That is not Michelle Sharp, by the way. That is Mama Michelle Sharp. That is son driving. I think it's Louis. Race control will confirm. Louis Sharp is driving. So young Louis. Matt Stevens, Robert Northway, Willips, Baccaris, Matthew Pluck. I'm surprised Matthew's way down there because he is one of only 2 A-grade oval drivers. Matthew Pluck. But when the entire field was split by, 0.3 of a second, you can't read anything into it. Benjamin Adams, Mike Limbrick, Lockie Penrose, Mandela Pluck. No John Midgley, which I'm surprised with. That's a shame. John Midgley, of course, a Central Muscle Cars driver. Very, very quick in the real world out there in his Falcon, and he is quite established in the simulation model as well. Very effective driver. But it doesn't look like he's going to be there, and he has a very high grade in the oval racing. So it's a bit of a shame we won't see him out there. But in regards to licenses, just for your curiosity, Liam Lawson is a D license. He probably hasn't focused on oval racing since he was a real young whippersnapper when iRacing was sort of first becoming a thing. Louis Sharp is a rookie. Basically looks like the I ratings just started on the outside there in the skull. Then there's a D license. Robert Northway in 4th position has a B. And then there's 2 rookies with Willits and Baccaris. The A license of Matthew Pluck. And then Adams, Limbrick and Penrose are all rookies, with Mandela Pluck being a D grade license. So it works as rookie, and then you move your way up. Then it's D, C, B, A and pros. It's a nice little mix here for this heat. Number 3, Liam Lawson gets to decide when to put the foot down, and he has done so already. But he knows the game. He knows that just because you're in front in an oval race, it doesn't mean you will win, especially if someone can get the slingshot. The interesting note, though, from our first 2 heats is that the driver sitting in second, waiting for that slingshot pass to take the win, has been boxed in both times. Will it happen again? Did any of these drivers take notice of that? Or there's some contact already, a little bit of a squeeze and a push. Louis Sharp pushing down Robert Northway. Northway has 45 on his car, but it's listed as 46 in the system. I don't know how that works, but let's not worry about it. Let's not dwell on it for the Charlotte Circus here on Friday night with Motorsport New Zealand. Having a little bit of fun in lockdown, aren't we? Now soon to be expanded lockdown for those from the Bombay Hills north. Everyone else gets a little bit of blessing on Tuesday. Let's not get into that right now. Let's just continue with our fun. And 22 up high, Stevens. But look at the speed of Louis Sharp in the Skoal 11. Heck of a lot of pace there. Good run. Going for the toe and maybe even thinking about bouncing out for the lead early on, which is, well, technically, probably just want to stay second now. I saw smoke in the background, so I'm wondering if someone's off, but we won't worry about that for now. Here he is, Louis Sharp in 3rd spot, and I'm very surprised to see Stevens up high taking the lead for a bit there. That hasn't happened at all tonight. And Liam knows it. Liam Lawson went out wide. Shut the door, there's contact. Massive contact there, and it was a great recovery and save by Matt Stevens. Louis Sharp gave it a little bit of a love tap. Louis is quick. Showing a fair bit of aggression early on in the race. There goes Liam Lawson into the centre. So he knows that he doesn't have the fast run anymore in the night track at Charlotte on the inside. He understands what the slingshot's all about. Stevens still on the outside. There goes Louis Sharp now, having a little think about it. Does so. Tries to push out wide. Stevens was there blocking the gate. Louis is playing now. He's going left and right on Liam Lawson. Stevens isn't having any of that though. Still there. Look at Lawson. Once again moves to the centre of the circuit. Very tactical driving. He knows you're not the fastest when you're out front. Here come more down the outside for a push. 51. Matthew Pluck has made up a few. Teammate 46. Robert Northway there. So will those two work together? There goes Sharp onto the grass. If he's not careful, Liam Lawson's been pushed as well. He's down on the skirt of the oval. He gets back into it. Northway comes in tight. Now we're getting some NASCAR-style racing in our old street stocks here at Charlotte. Lawson has lost the lead, down into second. Stevens takes it. Pluck is right there on the outside, lap 6 of 10. Sharp is making a comeback. Sharp is not scared to keep his foot on the throttle. Moving all over the track. Liam Lawson thinks about down the inside. He's had a good run. Can he make it stick? He goes on the grass. He's not worried about it. Stevens gives him racing room. Liam comes back down the inside. We are 3 wide going around the turn. Now the bunch is here. This is a great heat. The rest of the pack are having an opportunity. Almost 4 wide. It is doable. Do they have the courage? There's 4 on the inside, 3 in the middle and 1 on the outside. 9 of them vying for a slot on lap 7 of 10. One of them's just drifting off now, lost a little bit of momentum coming past the start-finish line. Don't know whether the opportunity will arise again to catch up to the pack. Three of the KSR graphic team is there. Will the 3 of them try and work together? Sharp still there. Liam Lawson still holds sway at the front. Moves back into the middle of the circuit. He's playing the game. He is going to force the drivers to go over the blue line or up around the wall. Stevens is the one who has stayed on the outside. This is the boxing maneuver that's happened for every heat so far. If Stevens stays there, lap 9 of 10, he has boxed Sharp in and Sharp can do nothing about it. .46 Northway. Maybe he should go up high. Help Stevens with a bit of a push. The 2 of them could go across together. Remember, this is for grid position in the main final. Liam Lawson moved up, moved back down. Sharp thought about it. He's made contact with Stevens. That'll lose momentum. Now here they go. It's wild. It's messy in the final lap. Here come the KSR boys down the inside. Liam Lawson goes to the wall. Liam Lawson is out on his own. Lawson should take the checkered flag. The rest of them are muscling each other. Oh, Sharps get pushed into the wall and Sharp is gone. He got muscled right out of it. The KSR team have come through and that was a brutal final lap and I loved every second of it. Lawson, Northway and Stevens. Now they're just having a good giggle together. Matthew Pluck. Mandela Pluck come from basically the back of the field to get up in there. Sharp got through to 6, will be in the consolation. Won't be in that top 5 with an immediately good top 20 grid position. Or it could be 15. So, let's see what happens in heat number 4. There is none. That's what I expected. So, this is going to be the final chance race. 3 heats. Because a few of the drivers, like I said, they probably arrived at Charlotte. They looked at the weather conditions. It was a night race. It's an oval on a street stock. Suddenly all their courage went out the window. And they said to the driver of the transporter, mate, no, I think the car's probably broken. Take it back to the shop, mate. No need to race tonight. So 5 of these drivers are going to miss out because the top 17 go through. 17 go through, 5 go home. Or get to sit in the grandstand or in the oval and watch the main final. So this is our repechage. This is our B main, our consolation final. 17 will go through, so now they are fighting. Well, yeah, for a chance to get in that main, because you don't want to be one of the 5 who get knocked out. But you are now fighting for grid position 16 and back. Okay, so we have found the top 5 in heats 1, 2 and 3, which will make up grid's position 1 through to 15. Now we need to find who is going to start in 16th, and none of them want to be here. Who wants to start in the middle pack on the oval in a street stock? Nobody. Nobody. But this mob are going to be doing it. So they better get the practice in right now for drafting and car control. 17 will go through. I'm not sure if they are, how many, we've got 22 on the grid. Yep, that's correct, 22 on the grid. 17 through, we're missing 1. Midgley and Paul Smith are not there, so it might end up being 20. They might not make it out there, which means 3 will go home. 3 won't make it to the main final. You don't want to be. Don't be one of those three. So 20 cars by the looks of it. We've lost John Midgley, car 39, and car 31, Paul Smith, but neither featured anyway in the heats. They registered, but they wussed out. And here we go, straight into it now. Mick Hennessy leads the pack away. Browen did a very good job of dropping straight down onto the inside skirt. But here comes Sharp pretty quick down the inside. Not scared of cold tyres is Louis Sharp. The Skoll car gets through into second. Let's take a little look further back. A little bit of lost momentum there. 34 jumps through. Marcus Little lost his speed. He needs a push from Michael Forreston behind in the 26. I'm talking about the two yellow cars. That sort of position, 6, 7, 8, but at the moment, Skoll has got through to the front, that being Louis Sharp. Car 11 has shown pace right through the heats, just made a couple of mistakes, got caught up in a fight. Sharp, Mick Hennessy, Browen, Baccaris, Todd, Hanks. Hanks gets past, just. The first of the yellow cars is Marcus Little out on his own. He needs to find a partner in crime. Who's into the wall? There's quite a few of them. Will that be one of the three that are gone? There's another one, and that is, I think, was Elton Goonan. I'm pretty sure it was. We'll wait and see, but I think we've lost Limbrick, and or was it Lamont? It might have been Lamont. I'll just wait until my timing finalizes. There goes another one down on the skirt. You don't want to be one of the three, and at the moment they're throwing themselves out. So we are in the cockpit now of number 11, Louis Sharp. Michelle equals Louis. That's not going to remain. I didn't think it would. You can't stay on your own here. You need to draft. This is 20 laps, and you've also got to look after your tyres. Playing silly games early on is not the way to do it. Louis Sharp out there. There's a sideways moment for Browen. Pushes another car down, but Browen keeps it together, the 47. Forrest dropped down. Forrest is back in it. Here comes 34 Baccaris. Trying to go up the inside of Browen. Side by side is not the right plan of attack. You got to be end on end. 58. Hanks coming through. 23 out wide Todd. They're all trying to play drag race. If they want to catch up to Sharp and make a move, they've got to get in behind each other and push. Now there's two of them are starting to do it. Baccaris and Browen. Hanks joins in the pack. Browen moves out again. Similar tactic to what he did in the heats. You've got to utilise the other drivers, you really do. And there goes Browen, he's been pushed out. Got a shove in the back and he is gone. Still has an opportunity. A chance to get back in and catch up because the top 17 get through. So Browen's out of it at the moment. Let's go first place cockpit on board. Who is there with him? It's Baccaris, the two of them. And there goes Baccaris, tries to do it. Hey, the slingshot didn't work there. Now the rest of the pack in behind, which is Todd, McKenzie, Hanks, Willits, Little, Forrest and Herbert, it's a good mob. But they need to start working together and miss. Nope, they've been caught. Three of them got caught out by the spinner. Herbert got caught. Hennessy was the one who was gone. And he had a chance. The chance actually in that top five to get right through. Good grid position, but he's out. So now Sharp has lost the lead. Sharp goes down. A wild positional change. Makes contact, yeah, just got too heavy, too hard, too hot. A little bit loose and aggressive, needs to tone it down a fraction. Baccaris, Hanks and Todd. Willett, Sharp. Marcus Little is still in the hunt for a good grid position in the in the A final. This is the B final. And there, the tail marker, I think, is Elton Goonan. And I'm just looking at the colours. No, it's not. It is. I'm trying to work it out. can't quite tell, but it is a tail runner. Still wanting to make a chance into that A final. And staying on the track's the way to do it, because more of these drivers could take themselves out. Remember, 17 go through, so do not quit. But that tail runner is going to affect these front drivers. Baccaris, who have all got the push. Baccaris and Hanks. Willits, Todd and Little now to 5th. Herbert is up to 7th with Sharp in front just. But look at the gaps. They're not working together. They're all playing an individual race. They don't want to help each other. That's what's going on. No one wants to help another driver. No, I don't want to push that driver up. But you're also giving yourself a great opportunity. Now they've caught up. Now it might be Adams who is being caught up. Just trying to... Is it 24 or 84? It is 84. It's Adams. Yes, it is. So Adams needs to make a decision here. Could play a very serious role in the outcome of this race. Does make contact. Does make contact. Holds it tight. Stays on the apron. The other drivers couldn't. Here comes a wild spin. This is why you've got to stay on the track and be in that 17. So... on here, was that for the win? That was for the win. So hang on, we're on lap 11 here and all sorts of chaos is going on. So the leaders, yeah, that was. The leaders went crazy. Joel Hanks has got through, Baccaris in 2nd, Todd Little moved up to 4th. Sharp and Herbert Brown dropped himself out. Look at Havinga coming up from last place. With Forrest and Brown there. Brown unfortunately yet again one of the faster drivers, but got caught up in the mix. Willits got knocked down a bit. Goonan moved up a whole heap, so he'll be wrapped. That'll put Elton in 28th on the grid. 28, I think, yes. Blake Dowdle, Luna, Mallard. There's going to be quite an intriguing final here. In the Charlotte Circus. This is part 1 of our Charlotte Circus. And I'll go through the rest of it at the end of the race of what our weekend entails. Both Saturday and Sunday are midday races. For those of you watching on now thinking, oh, when do I watch on Saturday and Sunday? Midday. For now, though, we're going to do the final, a night race here, and we're going to sort out our grid. We're just waiting for the official word to come through. I think it'll be Lamont out front, but we'll just wait. Going off. But then again, Liam Lawson should be right up there too, because he was up there. Yeah, there he is. So Zach Blinko will start on pole with McCutcheon and Lawson there on the 2nd and 3rd spots. Cooper Cooley in 4. Heddershide did very well to move up to there. Robert Northway, Crowther, Bates, Stevens and Neal, all of those drivers there did very well in their heats and all played games. Williams and Pluck, that being the Matthew, with Stewart, Ben and Paul Stewart. Mandela Pluck in 15, Joel Hanks, Chester Baccaris, Todd Little and Sharp. So these are the drivers from the last race we just saw. Herbert and Hicks, Forrest, 23rd, Brower, Havinga, Willett, Schoonen, 27. I was one out. Bad at math. Dowdle, Luna and Mallard down in 30. Mallard won't be happy with 30th. Not at all. Adams and Lamont, well, they won't be happy either. Because, well, remember, all of these drivers are basically the same pace. Every single one of them. We've only lost a couple of them from our original starting grid. But now we're going to have 30 of the crazies out there. 30 of them, people. Get ready for this. They don't even know how to pull out of the pits and line up. Oh, this is a disaster. What's going on here? They've all messed up their start. There's the safety car well ahead. They were so far off their time to pull out. Oh dear. So now everyone's going to put foot to the floor to try and catch up on cold tyres. Then they'll catch up, and then they'll hit the brakes so they don't slam into anyone. Here comes 90 Zach Blinko, who completely messed up. So he's managed to get to the front. Liam Lawson there in third, McCutcheon in second. That was just about a complete and total disaster of a start. Those down in 20th might have actually got away with the lead here. So look at it, 30 of them around Charlotte Oval. It's night time. It's a Friday night special here in the street stock. Who is going to help who? 20 lap final for the night. Safety car pulls away. Blinko makes a decision. When will he put the foot down? He puts it down now. Will McCutcheon drop down on the inside? Will Lawson do it? There's already been a mid-pack push. One has gone off. Lost momentum with the group. Probably made contact with someone else. And we'll lose a few already. But here's the first push. Let's go, says Blinko. McCutcheon in behind Lawson, staying out in the centre of the track. Chaos already up front. Oh no, he's going into the wall. That'll collect other people further down in the field. It's going to make a part. It is going to play a part. No doubt other people would have got caught up in that. They're starting to scraggle, aren't they? I thought it would have been a closer pack here. Blinko, McCutcheon, Lawson out wide now getting a push. Finally someone joining Lawson. That'll get them through. And it's car 46 Northway who's net coding, blinking on and off, goes out into the wides. There's no grip out there. Lawson's still on his own, needs someone to help push. I guarantee you Lawson will be looking in his mirror saying, come on, who's here with me? Push, let's go. It's a pack of 7. There's a triple in behind. Those 3 are working very well. If they stay like that, in fact, another bunch of 7 could catch up. They're in a train further back, not by much. It's only a second back, half a second in fact. But if they keep playing like that, they will catch up. 3 of 20 gone, that pack there. 25 leads them. Ayrton Williams, Matt Stevens, Ben Stewart, Barry Neal, Matthew Pluck. They all need to play the game. Barry Neal doing what he did in the heat, staying out on his own. Doesn't want to be a team player here. Probably would do himself some favours by jumping in behind that train and sitting there. Unless Matthew Pluck in 51 catches up and starts the push. But up front, it's 3, 6, 7 of them now. 2 have dropped out. And here come the other ones. Look at the gap closing down. It was half a second. That is shrinking. They are catching up. Neal's staying with them on the outside. I'm surprised by that. 5 laps down. And it's clean racing again. That has shocked the heck out of me here tonight at Charlotte Oval. I was expecting chaos, but they are driving beautifully tonight. Liam Lawson out in front. He's getting the push from McCutcheon. From Blinko, sorry. McCutcheon's on the outside. And 35 head aside. He's playing the game now. He'll help with the push, and it could even help move him in. He understands what to do. You don't have to be a teammate to give yourself an advantage. He's right there, head aside. Car 35. Now the bunch is all together as predicted. Those in the back have caught them up because they played the right game. And there's still a couple there that could do the same thing. I'm talking Neal, Stewart, Sharp. If they started working together, they'll catch this front pack. They could even split them. It's Lawson and McCutcheon. Blinko and Hedderscheid. Cooley right there. Northway's there as well. Bates wondering what he can do. There's some tail markers about to come up. Tail markers who don't have this advantage. 3 wide going there. Courageous move to stay on the outside, Hedderscheid. He'll lose position though. Here comes the push up the middle, Northway on McCutcheon. McCutcheon drifts out wide, just about makes contact with Hedderscheid. Hedderscheid had to back off a fraction. There is contact further back. I think that is Stevens and Stewart. So the front pack of 9, they just settle down a little bit. Now they've got to work together again to catch this front 5. You can see the tail markers. They will be caught. Guaranteed they will be caught. Exiting the pits. They'll get caught as well. They'll get involved. Zach Blinko pushing Lawson. .35 Hedderscheid pushing Blinko. McCutcheon. They're starting to settle down halfway through the race. They've realised it. They've worked it out, this bunch up front. Those in behind haven't quite sussed it yet. They've still got time. There's 3 back there who are doing it. That is Sharp, Stewart and Williams. They understand what's at stake. They know they can still make up. That 3 just sitting back. Neil's further back with Northway in behind. Even they can make a play. There's still an opportunity. There's 10 laps remaining. It's Lawson over McCutcheon. Blinko and Hedderscheid doing the pushing, just staying in there. 22 Stevens. Cooley in beside, Bate further back. Here come the 4 in behind. Don't go out wide, fellas. Stay right there. It's Williams, Sharp and Stewart, that following 3. Car 25, Ayrton Williams, currently in position 10. But if Sharp works, Stewart works, they can catch this pack. Up front, McCutcheon and Lawson. McCutcheon just in front, but only. That'll change on the inside for Lawson. Still pushed by Zach Blinko. He'll be counting the laps. He knows there's only 8 remaining. Down on the inside, you're boxed in. You're boxed in. Here comes 3 on the outside. McCutcheon. Hedderscheid. Stevens. Stevens backs off just a little bit. Probably went a little bit loose on the turn. Backed off the throttle, puts it back down again. He'll catch up. There's a big hole in the air. And don't count out the others who have finally worked together to catch up again. Here they come. Bates, Stewart, Williams, Sharp and Pluck. They're all there. Now the mob is together. Now the mob has an opportunity. If you've watched plenty of NASCAR, plenty of IndyCar, you know that even back in 10th there's a chance here. 13 down, 7 to go. Still Lawson over McCutcheon. McCutcheon is very, very lucky that Hedderscheid is there pushing along with Stevens. There goes Blinko, just playing mind games now with Lawson. Blinko going down the inside, probably trying to force Lawson to do it. And then he will creep up into the centre of the circuit. This is the tactic I'm calling now. Blinko will play games. He'll go left and right. In fact, it's like the old tacking duels of America's Cup. It's a fake. Watch Blinko in 90, the blue cars, currently in second behind 30, the green one of Liam Lawson. Keep an eye on Blinko. He's going to try and fake out Lawson. He'll go left and right, make Lawson cover, then he'll come back. He'll go for the slingshot. There, he's moved up. He's moved down. But now the mob is massive. I think there's 12 of them in it. 12 with an opportunity, 5 laps to go. There goes Blinko, but right in behind him as well as Cooley. Stevens and Bate will be watching on with interest at what's happening up front. McCutcheon all on his own on the outside. He doesn't care what Blinko does. McCutcheon needs more push. He needs Stevens and Herdeshide. Stevens out on his own by the wall. Not going to do anyone any favours out there. Fantastic driving by this mob. Lawson McCutcheon, 16 down. Three wide into turn 1. Herdeshide. Herdeshide has had enough of pushing. He wants to get in front now. He's going to stay out there. Blinko is boxed in. He can't fake. There goes one of the KSRs. He's out of it. Sharp's still there. It's down to 11 of them. Herdeshide left out. No chance there. McCutcheon will move in front. Liam Lawson still holding. He didn't have the lead for the entire race, but it only took a couple of laps to get there, and Blinko has got the tow. Blinko's trying to upset the back of Lawson's car. But Blinko knows if he pulls into the middle of the circuit, there is no one there to push him, and he will probably lose 2 or 3 positions. He's got to take the big gamble. McCutcheon shuts the door. He's not letting Blinko out at all, but he's got no slingshot opportunity past Lawson. 18 gone. There's more contact further back in this mob. They're into the wall. They're out of it. It goes from 12 down to 8. 4 drivers have been taken out. This final racing pack. Lap 19. Here they come. Lawson's been passed. Lawson has lost the momentum. McCutcheon has got through and he's blocking beautifully. He's holding position in the centre of the field. Now they make contact. 12 goes down to 7. Here they go, 3 wide. It goes down to 7. It goes down to 6. Final lap. Blinko has got through. McCutcheon. Cooley makes contact on Lawson. Lawson gives him a serve back. Blinko, he was on pole, he lost the lead, but he played the game all the way through. He was waiting for the opportunity to steal it, to fake out Lawson. He got the slingshot. McCutcheon gets in behind. The checkered flag is about to fly, and here comes a checkered flag finish. It's a photo finish. Blinko, McCutcheon, who got it? McCutcheon wins by 2 100ths of a second. 1,000ths of a second. McCutcheon gets him. Blinko gets second place. Cooley in third. Lawson got left behind. Takes 4th spot. A beautiful oval race. Well played by McCutcheon. That was stunning driving here at Charlotte Oval. They stayed away from each other for 20 laps and only basically made contact on the last turn. McCutcheon wins the race. He was side by side with Lawson the entire time. He deserved that win. In fact, got a love tap. In fact, I would say the top 8 drivers all deserved the win. That was fantastic. And any of the drivers who said, "Nah, I didn't want to get involved with that," they missed out on an absolute ripper. What a wonderful race. There's your results. McCutcheon, 2.002 over Blinko. He got the tow. He got the slingshot. Perfect execution. He wins the $500,000 from Motorsport New Zealand. He will never have to pay for a race car for the next 2 years with that win. Zach Blinko in second, Cooley in third with Lawson in fourth. Look at the time split. Stewart, Williams and Bate. Herdeshide, Pluck and Northway make up your top 10, 6 seconds back. But that front 5, wow. So that's us. That is our results. That is it. That is fun. First of the Charlotte Circus. Do you want to know what's happening tomorrow? Let me tell you what's happening tomorrow. Let me tell you what is happening tomorrow, because it is a little bit crazy at the Charlotte Circus. We've finished with that street stock stuff. Tomorrow it doesn't get any different. From lunchtime Saturday, it is Rallycross Extraordinaire at Charlotte, the Rallycross track on the infield. The drivers can choose between the Ford Fiesta, the Subaru WRX, or the Vida Beetle. I suspect the Beetle will be most popular. That'll be my call. The short car over the Fiesta. Maybe the WRX. They're all very even cars. WRX being slightly longer than the other ones sometimes can be a hindrance in Rallycross because the back end of the car is closer to a wall when you start to get a little bit loose. The format is heat racing. It's a max of 30 entrants to make it work in Rallycross. It should be a very entertaining Saturday afternoon. Sunday. Oh, by the way, there is a prize. I should mention this. A double hospitality pass to the Battle of Jack's Ridge for the winner of the Rallycross. Do I get to enter? No. No. Do I get the offer of a free pass? No. But one of the drivers will. They'll get a hospitality pass to Battle of Jack's Ridge at winning the Rallycross tomorrow. Mega racing. Mega racing. Sunday is Roval. Now, Roval's a hard circuit. Roval mixes the tarmac infield and the tarmac oval together. It'll be done in the Indy Pro 2000 standard format that we've been using in the Motorsport New Zealand E-Series, but that really sorts the drivers who can handle a car from those who like kissing concrete walls. We'll find that out on Sunday. My name is Craig Lord. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks to Liam Lawson for joining us this evening and talking us through his qualifying session. A big congratulations to McCutcheon, beating Zach Blinko tonight by 0.002 of a second in our oval racing street stock special at the Charlotte Circus. I will talk to you again. Live coverage from 12 p.m. right here. Motorsport New Zealand, Facebook, YouTube and Twitch channels. Been an absolute pleasure.